If you're looking for your immigrant family member who is detained by ICE, I'm going to show you in this video how to find them through the internet, whether you have their A number or not. It's kind of two different paths, but let's jump over and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Okay, so first of all, just Google ICE detention locator. You can do detainee locator, online detainee locator, whatever you prefer. And then you're going to click on online detainee locator system. This is going to take you to a page where you have two options for trying to find your family member. Important note is you can search in multiple languages, a lot of different languages available here. And then here are the two ways you can search for people. First is searching by A number. This is going to be a number that's assigned to them when they're taken into custody by immigration. If your family member has called you, usually it's on a bracelet, and you can ask them to read you the 9-digit number off of their bracelet. And then you're going to pick their country of birth. So that is usually the safest, quickest, simplest way to find someone is if you already know their A number. If they have an old A number and it is an 8-digit number, just add a 0 to the beginning. And that's kind of what it says here. Please add a 0 to the beginning. So if it's, it starts with 963, and it gets to 8 digits, do 0963 and go from there. Okay. Lots of people will not have an A number when they're first taken into custody, especially in those initial, really like the first day or so until you hear from your family member and you don't know their A number. Let's say they've never been in immigration court proceedings before. They don't have a green card. Like, by the way, if they have a green card or a petition pending, that A number is going to be on their green card, or it's going to be on any petitions that are pending in their name. So you can go to any receipt notices you have or anything like that. That A number will be the same throughout their whole life. It's kind of like a social security number. It's just an ID number for undocumented immigrants or, frankly, documented immigrants, because by the time you get an A number, you're documented. Okay, so if you don't have an A number, you can enter their first name and last name, and then their country of birth, and then you're going to enter their date of birth. Okay. What gets complicated especially, most of my clients are Hispanic, is you're going to have multiple last names. And so if you are Juan Carlos Garcia, sometimes you have to use all sorts of formations because you don't know how ICE has input the information. Remember, most of your ICE officers are going to be gringos, and they're not going to know which name is a middle name and which name is a last name. They're probably going to think that the first last name is a middle name, is a very common thing. So we'll put in Juan, and then we'll put in Carlos Garcia. We can put in Juan Garcia, Juan, and then Carlos. And you can use any formation until you find this person. Now, I can't show you what it would look like if we get to the next screen, because then I would be revealing one of my client's A numbers. And I don't want to do that because that would be breaching client confidentiality. So instead, what I'm going to do is just describe for you what the next page looks like. The next page will give you one of two results. The first option is it might say no alien found, no record found. And that can mean that you don't have the right name, you don't have the right A number, or ICE just doesn't have them in their system at this time. Sometimes this means that your family member, like if they were there before and you were able to see where they were before and then now they're not there, it means they've been deported. They're no longer in ICE's custody. They're gone. By contrast, if they are in ICE custody somewhere, it's going to say where they're located. It's going to say La Palma Detention Center, or more accurately, it's going to say which field office is kind of like having jurisdiction over them, which is actually the Florence field office. And so here in Arizona. So it will give you clues, and then you can call that phone number and eventually start to track people down in that way. But I did this before when President Trump was president previously, and this becomes craziness. It becomes a zoo. The information is not updated regularly. The information that might be there, it'll be showing that this person is still in custody, but they're calling you from Mexico, so obviously they've already been deported. It is not the gospel. It's not updated, in real time. So do your very best to stay calm as you go through this process. And if you are an existing client of mine, we will help you even if you're detained. However, if you're not currently a client, we're not taking new cases for detained people at this time. So I hope this is helpful as you try to work through. If you do have a family member who is detained, listen to my podcast, Immigration Law Made Easy. I have a whole podcast dedicated to what to do if you're representing yourself in a bond hearing. That might be something that's helpful for folks if you are tight on money and can't hire a lawyer. Those are all resources that are available to you there for free. I hope that this helps you find your family member, and I wish you lots of peace during a challenging time, because you really aren't going to be curious about this unless you have a big challenge ahead of you. All my best.